Antonia and her brother Paul were born in Bosnia and were very, very young during the siege of Sarajevo. That's their backstory. Their mother was killed, and they were taken by two American contractors who were working there and relocated to rural Minnesota. And so they grew up as refugees, and the main action of the story takes place in 2014, and Antonia is a young lawyer, and she and her brother, as a result of this really complex background, but being told, as many, I think, young refugees who were adopted into American culture were, they're Americans now, and they're not supposed to think about the terrible things in their past. Well, I think, as we all know, as certainly as readers and very much as humans, telling somebody not to think about their past is going to make you do the opposite. But Paul and Antonia grow up and they have very different relationships to the past. So Antonia is called back to her original hometown by the adoptive uncle when he calls her in the middle of the night and says, "Your brother's gone missing." And so Antonia, over the course of 24 hours, not only has to investigate what happened to her brother, but she learns all kinds of secrets and lies that were kept from both of them about their origin in Sarajevo. She is also based on Antigone, the Greek drama. And the basic sort of premise of Antigone, for those of us who don't remember, high school literature classes, is that Antigone is actually the daughter of Oedipus in Greek tragedy. Her story is that her uncle Creon has divided the family. One brother was fighting on a war on the uncle's side, the other was not. The brothers killed each other. When the uncle took power, he decreed that the brother that fought for him was a hero and will be buried properly. The brother that fought against him will not be buried properly. And Antigone, the sister, defies the law of the state to go with her gut and sort of what we would call her moral and ethical center, and what the Greeks would call the God's will, right? So I was always interested from the beginning of, like, if your moral and ethical center as a character or as a person differs from what you're being told is the official way it's supposed to be, you end up feeling, both feeling and doing things that you might never imagine you would feel or do. And to me, that setting Antonia off on that path was the most interesting thing I could think about to examine her character growth and what happens to the people around her.